Hi listeners, it's Kat here from Aghast. I just wanted to take a minute outside of the show to let you know about alter ego empowerment coaching. It's time to invest in your relationship with yourself. We all have a tendency to put other people or tasks first, but in doing so, we can sometimes neglect our relationship with ourselves. Let me be your advocate and show you a kinder, gentler way to treat the most important person in your life, yourself. Alter Ego Wellness offers life coaching to help you achieve the life you desire through interactive online coaching sessions. We also offer online yoga and meditation classes. If you think Alter Ego Wellness may help you, please feel free to contact me, Catherine, at alteregowellness@outlook.com or at alteregowell on Instagram. Okay, now back to our show.
Howdy, folks. Fancy meeting you here. I got a whiff of that. Smells like someone's looking for murder. This one, there is a murder, but for the most part, it's a triumph story. It's a survivor story. And thank goodness, because I was getting really depressed listening to all the crap that we were listening to over the last 12 months. But this one's a good one. Well, it's not a good one, but it's... Alright, just fucking... It's fucking hardcore. So, here we go. This is what we got for you. We got a guitar, broken legs, soiled sheets, and 90s television. If you're thinking, by God, this sounds like that lost episode of My So-Called Life where Jordan Catalano goes nuts, you're wrong. Because that episode did air. It was episode 8, season 1, out of 1 season, called Strangers in the House. I'm just kidding. I don't know. We just looked that up. I never saw that fucking show. I was too busy watching Reboot. But anyways, today we're talking about the badass survivor, Thad Phillips, and his escape from the bone breaker Joe Clark. That's right, that's his stupid name, in his shithole house. I hope you enjoy this one as much as I did. And I hope it doesn't take you 40 minutes like it did me. I'll try and edit it down. Good luck to you, and let's get started. I'm John.
And I'm Kat.
And this is Aghast. All right, Christ, what do you have for us today?
I have a story for you.
I guess we didn't say hello.
Hi, everyone.
Hey, everybody. Oh, man.
Happy
Jeez.
Friday to
Wow.
us.
Yeah.
I don't know what day of the week you're listening to this on, but...
It's Friday for us.
TGIF.
Yep. And by God, there's going to be lots of drinking.
Why don't you, kind sir, give us our disclaimer? Start the timer. You have 45 seconds today.
Okay. Hey, folks. We here at Castbox have a lighter touch to true crime. The lightest touch that you could possibly imagine. We are like the long-fingered pinky, gently inserting into an ear canal and scraping out the brownish-yellow earwax of true crime on the head of podcasts. Oh, dear Christ. And the reason we have to have this little bit of levity is because true crime sucks. Not like your mother, but it truly sucks. It always has and always will. And if we didn't have a lighter touch, we would become cynical and jaded and depressed. Much like someone born in 1978. And we wouldn't be able to do our jobs. And considering the state of how the world is and how much money we're making off this podcast, we really need our jobs. And so we like to make fun of the shithole rapists and murderers and their fucking crap families who begat them, and all the other sons of bitches who made life easier for these assholes to do what they did. If you don't like that, you're a fool. For the rest of you, you're cultured and intellectual. And so grab yourself a lovely drink and let's sit back, relax, maybe let out a quiet fart, and let's get right pissed as we get pissed off. Bless your hearts and good luck.
16 minutes later, we get through your disclaimer.
Oh, well.
You ready?
No. Okay, now I'm ready. Let's get on with the goddamn show.
All right.
Mercy.
On July 30th, 1995, 13-year-old Thad Phillips had made a startling call to 911.
Do tell.
He told the dispatcher that he had been abducted by a teenage boy, held captive, and tortured. Police and first responders arrived and found Thad in the home in critical condition. His legs had been broken multiple times, and
fuck's sakes.
And he had been bleeding internally.
Jeez.
It was later stated that he was only hours away from death. So, what happened to Thad Phillips?
That's what we're here to find out.
On July 29th, Thad and his sister had fallen asleep on their couch. He woke up for a moment in a dreamy state, being carried, and thought that one of his parents was carrying him to bed, so he dozed back off. He then woke again as he was hoisted outside of a window. He was startled and confused, but did recognize the boy who was carrying him, though not by name. It was 17-year-old Joe Clark.
What year was this again?
95.
And he was 17?
Yeah.
1995 minus 17. 1978. Gen X alert!
The level of admiration I actually have for China.
There we go.
Fucking Gen Xers. Always wrecking the world.
Joe told him that
Joe Clark? The Conservative Party of Canada leader?
Joe told him that he had some friends back at his place and he should come over. He listed names that Thad had recognized, so he sleepily, still confused, agreed.
Gee, what? Really? This is normal activity.
Confused and half asleep.
Jeez, like what did he have before going to bed? Like a Valium? Like you're either asleep or you're awake. Like how messed up?
I've seen you pretty groggy. They only had walked about a mile before arriving at Joe's house, which was a dirty, run-down home.
Yeah.
When they got inside, Joe forced Thad up the stairs to his bedroom and then threw him onto his bed, which was a soiled mess.
Oh, ew, soiled?
Instantly after getting him onto the bed, Joe had grabbed Thad's ankle and twisted it so violently that it snapped and the bone had splintered.
Holy fuck.
He had told Thad that he loved the sounds of bones breaking.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Even though in excruciating pain, Thad was able to break free from Joe and get his way downstairs.
On that fucking ankle, holy shit.
Joe had caught up to Thad, though, and tossed him on the couch. He then grabbed Thad's leg and shoved it upwards, leaning into it with all his force until his thigh bone snapped.
Oh, that could fucking kill you.
Yeah.
Like you're breaking your thigh bone. Fucking Joe Clark.
Well, he had internal bleeding as well. So.
Yeah, you could sever your femoral artery.
Joe then got Thad back upstairs into his bedroom, where he dressed his wounds in casts made from socks and Band-Aids.
Oh, God.
While doing this, he would talk to Thad like they were friends. Joe eventually went out that same day, thinking he had incapacitated his victim enough to leave him home alone.
Stupid Joe Clark.
Thad was a fighter, though. He had gotten himself off the bed and dragged his limp body down Joe's stairs.
Oh my God, that had to have been fucking excruciating. Holy shit.
But during this, Joe had come home with a girl. The two had sat on the couch watching TV, while Thad remained motionless and silent in the kitchen. After the girl had left, Joe, to his surprise, had discovered Thad in the kitchen. Again, he dragged Thad back to his bedroom and proceeded to break and re-break more bones in Thad's legs.
Oh my God, why the legs? God.
During this torture, Joe threatened that he would kill Thad if he tried to escape. He had said that he had killed twice before, and referred to a local boy who went missing and was found drowned, 14-year-old Chris Steiner.
Does Joe Clark live on his own? Does he not have parents? He's 17 years old.
I could not find what the fuck. He was adopted, but I have no idea where the fuck his parents were during all of this.
Yeah, this is fucked.
Yeah. In between the acts of torture, Joe would treat Thad like a friend. He would talk to him and watch movies with him, pretty much acting like they were just buddies hanging out.
Can you imagine? Just And this is the early 90s, right?
Yeah,
so
95.
you're watching Saved by the Bell with your fucking abductor with your legs broken.
Oh, God.
Jesus Christ. Oh, isn't that screech a hoot? Yeah. Would you mind, like, just moving my pillow? My leg is dead.
On July 30th, Joe wanted to head out again that evening, but he did not want to take the risk of Thad finding his way out again. So he locked Thad, who was in very bad shape, in his closet.
Oh, God. Put him in his closet.
Thad was absolutely desperate to be freed from captivity and torture. And let's, remember, he's 13.
And, for folks who are born after the year 2000, a 13-year-old in the 90s was a very thin, small person.
Yeah, I have pictures of him.
Yeah, not like today's 13-year-olds who are on OnlyFans.
Yeah.
Or rolling down the street towards the next fucking Taco Bell.
So he was absolutely desperate, so he looked around the dark closet and found a guitar. In his frail condition, he used this guitar to beat the door down and free himself. He dragged himself down the stairs.
Jesus, he beat the door down? Must have been an electric guitar.
God, you're so funny.
No, but seriously, an acoustic guitar,
Yeah,
I don't think it would...
It was a heavy guitar, so it was likely...
it was a bass. It was a cello.
His legs were completely useless at this point, and he was severely dehydrated. Getting himself into the kitchen riddled him with so much pain that he passed out repeatedly from exhaustion and pain.
Oh my God. This is like fucking Misery.
I know. Finally making it to that kitchen, he pulled on the cord until the phone dropped. He was able to call 911. Thad didn't know where he was, but they were able to trace the call. The 911 dispatcher responded quickly and sent out police and first responders to Joe Clark's house. After 43 hours of being held captive and tortured,
Jesus fucking Christ.
Thad Phillips was rescued.
Holy fuck.
Joe Clark was arrested 4 hours later after returning home from a party.
He just went to a party.
Thad's injuries were so severe that he required multiple surgeries and was sadly left with a permanent limp.
Oh, well, I'm surprised that
That's
all he
Yeah.
had. Holy fuck.
He was also suffering from internal bleeding and was just hours away from death.
Jesus Christ.
When they learned what had happened to him, police were shocked and appalled. Thad had told them that he was savagely beaten the first night his ankle was cracked and he tried fleeing. While being tortured for hours and hours, a towel would be shoved in his mouth to muffle the screams. Thad's legs would be placed into braces, and then he would be forced to walk around Joe's room with his shattered legs.
Oh, fuck off.
Yeah.
He strapped him up like Forrest
in
Gump.
2x4s.
Jesus.
When Thad pleaded with Joe and asked why he was doing this, Joe had said that he had loved the sounds of bones breaking and how it felt. As mentioned before, Joe would then tend to his wounds and treat Thad with kindness and friendliness before the next attack. First responders, doctors, and nurses had said that Thad's injuries resembled that of someone who was involved in a horrific car accident.
Holy fuck.
His legs were broken and shattered in 4 places, and his ankle skin was stretched and twisted.
Oh, Jesus
and
Christ.
His toes were pointing in the wrong direction.
Oh, fuck.
After his arrest, police searched Joe Clark's home and found a journal. At his trial, it was labeled as a hit list. It had 29 names under 3 separate columns: Can Wait, Get Now, and The Leg Thing. Joe had told investigators that he had only kidnapped Thad to hang out and that he could not recall how Thad had sustained those injuries.
Oh, that's just fucking horse shit. You fucking piece of garbage, Joe Clark.
Thad told the investigators that Joe had told him that he had done this before and that he had even killed. He recalled the name Chris Steiner, but sadly couldn't remember the name of the other. Which obviously I can completely understand. It's surprising that he could even remember the name of Chris with all the pain and trauma he was under. 14-year-old Chris Steiner went missing on July 4th, 1994.
Really?
So a little under a year prior. His parents called 911, stating the last time they saw Chris was when Chris's father checked in on him in bed around 10:30 p.m. When police arrived, there were signs of an abduction. Chris's window screen was cut open, Muddy shoe prints were on the carpet, and the patio door was left unlocked. So
Really?
Entry through the window and exit through the patio door. 6 days later, Chris's body was discovered, but with no visible injuries, his cause of death was ruled as drowning.
Oh my God.
After Thad's statement, investigators exhumed Chris Steiner's body, and after examination, it was discovered that Chris's legs sustained the exact same injuries as Thad's.
Really? Jesus Christ.
In Thad's case, Joe Clark was charged with attempted first-degree intentional homicide, great bodily harm caused to a child, mayhem with intent to disable or disfigure, causing mental harm to a child, and child enticement. He pleaded not guilty by reason of mental disease or defect.
Oh, fuck you, you piece of shit.
His defense attorney presented that his biological mother was a heavy drug user, and that also Joe suffered a head injury from a crash on his bike a year prior. Despite this information, he was found guilty in 1997.
Good.
And sentenced to 100 years in prison and $21 million in damages.
I was concerned because he's 17 at the time, right? If they would charge him as an adult or a minor.
For Chris Steiner, he was charged with first-degree homicide, mayhem, and causing great bodily harm to a child. He pleaded not guilty. However, a jury felt otherwise, and he was sentenced to an additional 60 years for the murder of Chris Steiner.
So 160 years?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
He did appeal in 1998.
Oh, fuck you, you piece of shit.
But he was denied.
Good.
He was given the name the Bone Breaker.
Oh, fuck off giving this piece of garbage a name. Yeah. Like, he's a fucking loser, 17-year-old son of a druggie.
Well, everyone loves labels.
Yeah. Yes.
And again,
especially the fucking left.
I mean, I could probably dive into it a little bit more, but I just could not find anything about his parents. And, like, this house was a filthy mess, apparently, you know, so I just don't think they were...
They were just garbage people.
Anyways.
Should have charged the parents, like, when it's that obvious.
Yeah, and for him being a minor, you know, but where this was, they might have, maybe at 16, you're an adult. So that's Joe Clark.
That's Joe Clark.
Yeah. He looks like you're very average. He looks younger than 17.
Look how fucking disgustingly ugly this piece of shit was. Even for a fucking 90s Gen Xer. Like, his one nostril isn't, like, his nostrils aren't even symmetrical. Like, this guy blows his nose and breaks his neck.
Yeah, the one nostril is quite bigger than the other.
Right?
And he's like, how tall is he?
That second line has to be like the 6-inch mark, so he's like...
No, that's got to be 5'5". There's always the half mark and then the 6.
Yeah, so...
It would say 6 if it
so
was...
he's a little bit shorter than, like, Tom Cruise. And look at his fucking haircut. Like, his entire look just shouts, I'm the son of a drug user. Look, he even has some drug abuse blotches on his face, too. I can say whatever I want. He's a piece of garbage.
I know, but, like, there are children that are the offspring of drug users, and they turn out fine.
And their haircuts are okay.
Oh, God.
I would love to see a picture of him now. I bet his eyebrows finally meet down the road. Fucking loser. Look how long his upper lip is in that one picture. The sunken face. His eyes all close together like a piece of garbage.
Oh my God.
He looks like the kind of kid you would see on a street who carries a skateboard but never uses it.
Yeah.
You remember those kids?
Yeah.
You know? Like, he's like the kind of kid who, like, walked his, like, parents' poodle. But it wasn't like a well-manicured poodle, and he thought he was a badass because it was like a larger dog.
You know, remember when we covered the German cannibal?
Yeah.
Armis something?
Yeah.
And he said he wanted to just, he was just consumed with so much loneliness that he wanted to eat people so they would never leave him.
Yeah.
I almost wonder if, like, he was so lonely that, like, he just wanted to keep people injured. Like Misery, you had brought up, like, they just did not want this person to leave them.
Yeah.
I don't know if he felt the same way. I don't know.
Maybe.
And that's Thad Phillips.
Oh, fucking poor Thad. Jesus.
And that's Chris Steiner.
The fucking, like, just thinking about what Thad went through and what Chris had to go through, like, to be drowned afterwards.
And I wonder, like, was he tossed into the water alive but just couldn't swim to safety? Or if he had been drowned in a bathtub or something and then dumped. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, because obviously during an autopsy, they would have had to...
That would have been awfully fucking scary if that was
during the
case.
autopsy, they would have, to rule it a drowning, they would have had to have found water in the lungs.
Yeah.
Or bruising on the lungs.
Yeah.
Why don't you pick...
Okay. All right, all right, fine. You don't want to hear anything. Let's move on to the wise words of his savageness, of his macho-ness, Randall Savage.
Rondell.
That's the best part, is knowing that his name is Randall Savage. Okay, Randy, what do you got to say? All right, I'll say it. I'll say it the way he probably said it. Too hot to handle, too cold to hold. I think he was talking about his dick.
I thought you were gonna say it like him.
Oh yeah. Ooh yeah. Too hot to handle, too cold to hold. Yeah.
That was amazing. And I want to let the record show that John was doing the hand gestures and everything. This is why I think we need to film ourselves, because my goodness, these things cannot be missed. And he's also filming in a wife beater.
A white undershirt.
And now he has a huge red mark on his neck.
Okay, that's no one wants to fucking hear this garbage. Thanks for tuning in, folks. Bless your hearts. Drive home safe, and we'll catch you on the next episode of Castbox. Oh, is this boring for you?
Yeah.
Yawning? All right, bye, folks. See you later.
Bye. You can check us out on YouTube at Catam Concoction.
That's CATAM CONCOCTION.
And on Instagram at cast_aghast.
Remember, there's a silent H. This sounds like if you're thinking, by God, this sounds like that lost episode of my, what is it called? This sounds like that lost, shut up. What did I say? Did I say last or lost?
No, you said good.
You said good. I like, and you say good. we cast pod. Okay.
Oh.
Ew, gross.
Oh, listen to you, you slurper.
No one slurps like you slurp. Slurpy McSlurperton. And then you clog up our goddamn sink with your fucking tea bags.
13-year-old Thad Phillips. I feel like I've...
Thad Phillips. Well, wipe the monitor off.
On July 30th, 1995, 13-year-old Thad Phillips...
There's just so many words in there. So many...
He told the dispatcher that he had been abducted.
Adopted?
He was...
We had let in this cat who screamed at us, scratched my chest, then ate, and then immediately started taking a dump. Our cat is now taking a second shit. Maybe she's the kind of... You ever know people who, like, don't pee and poo at the same time? You know, in the same go, in the same sitting. Like, they'll, like, I gotta take a dump. And then, like, about 5 minutes later, they're like, they put down their, like, PS5 controller, and they're like, you know what? I had to pee as well. Alright, she's just making sandcastles now.
While being tortured for hours and hours, a towel... After being tortured...
A towel!
Well,
You just turned into Bruno for a second. A towel!
Well...